Hey everyone, today we dive into something we all do but rarely think about it, yawning. Have you ever think what is yawning, why do we yawn and when? Sure, it seems like a simple thing, but there are still some questions about the reason why we yawn. Some things behind yawning are well known, but some still have questions, so let's get into it. First off, let's talk about flying and how it affects yawning. Ever noticed that you yawn more on airplanes? That's because yawning helps balance the pressure in the ears. For example, when plane going down. And even if you haven't really noticed this before, no worries, as yawning isn't the only that help us with this. Swallowing also do the same. Now, there are something you might have experienced. Ever caught yourself yawning just because someone else around you did? It doesn't even have to be someone right in front of you. A photo, video, or even just a mention of yawning can trigger us to do it. Bet you might yawn just from watching this video. The reason behind this is empathy. The more empathetic you are, the more likely you catch yawn from someone else. And this becomes stronger with people we're close to. If your friend yawn next to you, it's more contagious than when stranger does. And this is completely normal, because our brain is literally wired to copy people around us. Yawning triggers mirror neurons in our brain, which are responsible for contagious yawning. These mirror neurons help us understand others' actions. They help us interpret and mimic the behavior of others. Like when you watch someone smile, mirror neurons for smiling activate, just as if you were smiling yourself. But the main twist about contagious yawn is that it don't work with everyone. It didn't work with someone who had insufficient mental development. For example, babies until they are 4 or 5 years old. Before that, they don't respond to others yawning. Let's move on to how yawning affects our body. When we yawn, we stimulate our face and neck. This stimulation in turn speeds up our heartbeat and wake up a bit, releasing hormones. That's why we always yawn more when we do something boring and calm, like driving, and less when we, for example, cook. It's our body's way to say, hey, let's get moving. So, instead of tiredness, yawning actually a way of our body to wake up itself, giving a little boost. And what's even more interesting, that the effect of yawning is similar to the effect of caffeine. So both of them can play the same role in keeping our brain active. Now, onto a really interesting theory that yawning helps us cool our brain. There was an experiment where people put cold and warm packs on their heads. Those with cold packs on their heads yawned less than those who had a warm pack. But the experiment wasn't perfect. You see, placing an ice pack on the head itself can cause excitement, while a warm pack tends to calm us down. But there are also another study that found out that people yawn less in winter, so we can't dismiss this idea. In fact, this theory has support, and most researchers believe that it is true. Moving on to another interesting reason for yawning, I think everyone heard about, or at least think about, that yawning increases oxygen level in our blood. That sounds logical, right? We take a deep breath, take more air, and so more oxygen goes to our body. However, researchers show that this is not really true. Even when people were placed in a room with lower level of oxygen, they didn't yawn more than they did in a room with normal level of oxygen. But what about yawning too much? Let's put it simply, yawning is a normal part of life. If you find yourself yawning more after a poor night, that's pretty standard. But if you yawn a lot without a reason, it might be a sign of something like sleep deprivation, insomnia, sleep apnea, or narcolepsy. So keep an eye on your sleep. After all, we spent about a third of our lives doing it.